If you've ever held off on financing because you were waiting for rates to come down, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Great to see everybody in the chat. Get in there and check out why this is the best community on the internet. I will do nothing to control you folks, so have some fun. We do have some stuff moving around today. It's also the first day of the Masters. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, everybody. Lots of good mornings in the chat here today. EKS, Smoke Tuna, Market Sniper, SMS, Chris, Jane, Neville, Carmen, 13, Alyssa, Christoph, Kingdom Lamb. I can't say your name there. Bernard, hello, good morning. You folks are all amazing. We're back for another episode of Live Trading. Let me bring on my main man, 13. 13, how are you and the beard this morning?
Oh, it's doing just fine. I'm doing great as well. It's going to be a good day. I don't care if we're going to see the SPY go down or up. We're going to find trades. We're going to make money. Let's go.
You got that right. SPY is doing both of those things here this morning as it was drifting lower and then spiking higher on the PPI print. So it looks like it's doing both of those things here today. Let's go ahead and dive into what's going on. Oops, I didn't even share my screen, did I? Let me take care of that here real quick. Boom. Where are you, though? Wait, how is it not here? What's wrong with... What is going on here? Holy cow, what on earth is going on?
Market selling off?
No, I don't have... here, you know what I'll do? I got an idea. We'll share this, and then we'll change it to this tab. We tricked the stupid computer. See, human brains, still better than computer brains.
AI.
And will be so forever. AI, shmai. Okay, that's actually pretty funny. Let's go ahead and dive right in here. Here is the SPY. Now, it did look like yesterday we might be kind of coming into the 50-day moving average. One of the things that I said yesterday in happy hour after we got off this show was that yesterday's candle kind of looked like we might keep going here, right? There might be some more downside here today. It does look like the pattern that we've been looking at is broken here. We've traded sideways for a little bit longer. We've actually started to roll over. The interesting thing is we have not closed outside of this candle. So we actually still have an inside pattern here. I know we dipped below it, but we didn't close below it. And so I'll be interested to see if we do get that close here below 512 or wherever the bottom of this candle is. Let me give you that. 512.76. So we'll see here. This is kind of the thing that I'm watching here. What are you seeing in the SPY here today, 13?
Yesterday, we kind of put in a bit of a neutral candle. That could mean that we're either going to go lower and hit that 50-day SMA or we're going to reverse. So that's what the neutral candle is telling us. I'd still like to see a visit of the 50-day SMA. That would be the first visit that the price would have made ever since November 6th, I believe. So it's
November. It looks like that was November 3rd. We crossed through that here. Oh, but you know what? You're right. We tapped it on the... I shouldn't have even doubted you, 13. We tapped it on the 9th, it looks like.
Okay. So early November, basically was the last time we visited the 50-day SMA.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. It looks like today it's starting to reverse off the PPI. We still have a full day. Let's see what happens, and if we can actually start to trade above the 515.50 level that I frequently outline as now it's a resistance level. We did trade between 515.50 and 512 yesterday, waiting for the market to choose a direction. Ever since we got this PPI report, it looks like it wants to return higher. But we have the 20-day SMA in the way, as well as that level I just mentioned, 515.50, and the 518.30 level that was providing support previously. So those are the levels for resistance. Support is going to be 512 and the 50-day SMA.
Nice shout here this morning from Mr. Kingdom Lamb. This 13 guy doesn't miss. You got that right. Why do you think we brought him on? By the way, you should see him at the range. Dude doesn't miss anything.
Oh, man, you guys are pumping me up.
Oh, we're having a good time here. All right. let's dive into some individual names. I know CADL spiking here. We're definitely going to cover that. No rush to cover that right now. We will get that when we hit the movers. I do want to mention that the stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. So if you need help getting either more buying power or above the pattern day trading threshold, Trade the Pool is your move. Guys are great. Give us things to play all the time and great supports. Go check them out. All right, let's talk about some of the other moves here. If I'm going to start, I'm going to start with Pan W. This is a move that we have played off the 200-day before. And yesterday, I actually entered this for a swing here. So we actually came back down to the 200-day. We recaptured that 200-day, and now we're trading back up here. So this triggered my entry yesterday. Again, we will swing this. I'm just using shares. No options on this. Long Pan W on a swing. Would love to see this trade back up towards this $300 level. I would start taking gains right there. Some of the other potential swing plays that we've talked about, one of them was Accenture. Accenture has really, this ticker ACN, by the way, apologize. This one has really started to break away. Now, the other trade plan that we had on this one is that we will watch this for a recapture of this 200-day if it does fail. So now that we got the 200-day failure and we're breaking away from it, we'll see if this can actually get recaptured and give us a potential long swing here. One of the other ones we've been taking a look at here is McDonald's. It looks like this has tried to bottom beneath its 500-day. Again, we'll see if this gets recaptured. If it does, we could actually trade up towards that 200-day. I've got about an 11-point difference right now between those two values. So if we do recapture this, let's see what that is. That'll give us a trade plan in the future. Last one here is going to be VKTX. This is another one that we played off the floating island successfully the first time. Looks like it's coming back in, but maybe we're actually bottoming. And if we do, we have a higher low on that particular bottom, and I would expect this to trade back up towards those high 80s. No position here on VKTX yet, but still kind of watching that. Of these swing stocks, the only one that I'm currently swinging is Pan W. Okay, do you have any that you want to go over here real quick, or should we just hit that movers list?
Yeah, let's hit the movers list.
Let's do it. We got a bunch of stuff in here. Let's talk about it. So first one here is going to be RLYB. I'm basically just going to go in order of the opening gaps that we're about to see here. Ticker RLYB, Rally Bio. Shares are trading higher after the company announced a collaboration with Johnson & Johnson to advance therapeutics for pregnant individuals at the risk of FNAIT. I don't know what that stands for. So I'll look that up here in a sec, but if you know, let us know. Anyway, looks like we're getting a mention here with a Johnson & Johnson collaboration. That's probably pretty good for a small. One of the things that we've been talking about with small caps is that, hey, how are these stocks going to get money? Right? It's hard to finance money, hard to, increase the cash position. Well, if you collaborate with a company like Johnson & Johnson, that task becomes a lot easier. The stock ripping here, up 96.9%. You can see we've actually made a nice little formation. We've got multiple volume expansion pops here. Let's see what happens when the market actually opens. I expect RLYB to be in play here today. You got anything on this 113?
That's got a 31.8 million share float, so not too small like the ones that we typically trade under 10 million. One thing I've noticed is that it has run up to its 200-day SMA. And if you look at the price action in the pre-market here, it seems like we're kind of slowing down in terms of the upside. I think based on what we're seeing right here, that it might sell out of the open, but could recover later on. So when it starts rising up like this into the open, I'm a little bit more cautious because we could get a pull out of the open. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I know you're talking about RLYB, and we have actually seen that before. We've actually seen some of the high prints of the day be put in the pre-market in a situation just like this. So really good warning there. One of the other things I kind of want to just shift gears here real quick, because the SPY is doing the same thing as it continues to spike into the open here. Jay Rice mentioning this is the exact opposite of yesterday. Market big green here in the pre-market. Remember, we really kind of sold off right before the open yesterday when we got that CPI print. And the market just kind of languished in that lower range yesterday. Well, today we actually have the opposite of that. We're popping. Let's see if we hang out in a range or if we actually make it all the way back to where we were previously. So that's what we're taking a look at here. Good call, Jay. All right, RLYB, that takes care of that. Next one here is going to be ELYM, Elium Therapeutics. Elium Therapeutics shares are trading higher. The company announced that it entered into a definitive acquisition agreement to acquire Tenet, and it also entered into a securities purchase agreement for $120 million private placement. That is popping the stock up 55.8% here. We actually have a pretty nice little channel here that we're going to try trading when the market actually opens. So we want to take a look at this spot right in here, 408 to 436. We'll see what this stock wants to do when it breaks out of this channel, and we can try and capture that as a potential day trade here today. So that's what I'm looking at here on ELYM. You got a share structure breakdown or anything else?
Yeah, it's just under 9 million shares in the float. This formation looks a little bit better than the one we were just looking at. It seems like it's come in a bit, still elevated from when the news broke. But this one looks like it could be a better candidate to see the price rise out of the open than fall. Unless we get a breakout right here, then I would be a little bit more cautious about getting into this at the open.
Huh.
But for now, it looks like this is just consolidating to make a move out of the open, and that would be this one looks a little bit better to me than that previous one for upside out of the gate.
Yeah, it looks better to me too, especially if we can figure out what it's going to do out of this channel here. That's generally speaking giving us a pretty good roadmap. So I'm with you on that one. Okay, next here is going to be ALPN. And of course, you know what? This one's actually, I beg your pardon.
Acquisition.
Yeah, this was an acquisition. I'm sorry. I should have skipped right over that. It's interesting, though, because we've actually talked about this one on the show here before. There's another smaller, I think, APDN that's similar in ticker that we often see on the scanner, but we have talked about this one before. Anyway, acquisition here. If you're long this, congrats. And a register ring. Let's keep moving on, though. Here's the big one. So this is one that we actually, obviously, this is an ex-girlfriend that we've talked about quite a bit. We've traded CADL recently. It's actually given us some really, really good trades on CADL. Got another move here today on volume, kind of late in the pre-market, setting us up here for the day. This actually traded as high as 677, it looks like is the high print there, maybe 676. Come back in towards 620. We're right below the VWAP. Catalyst here. CADL Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company received FDA orphan drug designation for CAN 2409 for the treatment of pancreatic cancer. So FDA orphan drug for pancreatic cancer treatment. That is sending CADL higher here. As you can see, we're actually going through the VWAP. For you folks that have traded this before, you know exactly how this trades and how volatile this can be. So factor that into any trade plan that you have here today. 13, what are you seeing here on CADL?
This one, it's an old girlfriend, and she's back to raise some cash. So what's going to happen here is that we're looking at $6.605 as a support level currently. That we for this current formation, we don't want to see it break down or close beneath that. We want to see it move up through 650 and up to the next upside target I have here, which is at 715. We can go higher than that. It can go to 825. I have other levels to the upside. It's been up there before. It doesn't mean that it can't go back up there again, but this is a pretty good formation to have near the open because it implies that there's going to be some upside pretty soon.
Okay, there we go on CADL. We will definitely keep an eye on this one. Looks to be another pretty decent target here today. Next, SPRC, SciSpark. Stop me if you've heard this name here before. This has been a regular from the relative volume scanner. We've seen this one in play a number of times in the past. SciSpark shares are trading higher. The company announced the acquisition of Automax. Now, one thing here, you take a look at SciSpark. We talked about how some of these stocks have very, very similar patterns. There was one that we were trading yesterday. Was it ADIL? There was one that we were trading yesterday. Smoke Tuna gave out the warning, said, hey, I can't remember which ticker it was. There were so many that were going by, but every time that this pops, it ends up dropping. Well, look here, SPRC seems to have a very, very similar type of reaction. So just keep that in mind in your trade plan here. Today, we'll see if SciSpark actually gives us a trade. You got anything on this one?
2.5 million share float. They did a reverse split last September, 1 for 26. Probably isn't going to have very much influence over the price action. But what's interesting to me today is that in the after hours yesterday, we put in a high of about 205. We broke out this morning and went up above that, got up to 233. And when we came back down, I would have liked to see that 205 provide some support, and it did for a time. but now it is resistance. We've kind of broken down beneath VWAP, and now it's trading underneath that 205 level, and it's having a hard time trying to get back above it. So be careful with this one. It might go down out of the gate, but it seems like it could recover. So just kind of keep it on your radar. Watch what the price action does. I don't think it's going to just rip right out of the gate. It might just be one of those things where you need to just watch what it does and then make a decision.
Sounds good. All right. Next on the list here is going to be BSGM. This is right out of yesterday. Remember, this is the one that was halted a few times yesterday. Here we go again here today. Looks like we've got a little spike here in the pre-market. Came back in. We'll see if it actually recaptures the VWAP and moves here. What do you got for us on BSGM?
I didn't have the float in front of me. This wasn't really one of the ones I was watching because we'd already seen it move yesterday. But this one has not been able to get above that or close above that 281 or 280 level. It got as high as 297 yesterday, close to the open. But since then, it hasn't really been able to get above that. Now, that isn't to say that it couldn't do that today. I don't know what the news catalyst on this is because, as I said, I didn't research this one. But first thing it needs to do, in my opinion, if we're going to see more upsides, it needs to recapture that VWAP.
Okay. Don't see anything fresh in here.
Might just be relative volume then.
Yeah, might just be after yesterday. We're seeing another one here today. Okay, next here is going to be Zoos, ticker ZOOZ. This did pop here. You were talking about this here in the pre-show fist fight. This is a recent IPO here. Looks like this popped and already retraced that move here, ticker ZOOZ. What do you got on this one?
I couldn't really find a whole lot of stats on this. Couldn't find the float in the two sources that I look at. So if somebody else manages to find it, thank you. But this is just an Israel IPO, and I don't have a whole lot of information on it. So if you trade IPOs and you like the price action you're getting, good luck to you. I'm not going to be touching this one.
Yeah, me either. It looks like a break below 280 here probably shows there moves lower here, and we don't have enough data to tell us where the next bottom is. So keep an eye on that one. Looks like ADIL also kind of curling up here. This had a huge move yesterday. Looks like it moved more in the pre-market. Smoke Tuna is mentioning here, congrats on anyone that traded ADIL after 2 p.m. yesterday. I don't know if you recall, but we were talking about that. We were talking about that literally before it happened. While we were on the show, we said, hey, keep this one on your radar. This one might pop a little bit later in the day. Boy, did it ever. And then it really had that move in the after-hour session. Now, it looks like we're gearing up here in the pre-market. Let's see if this gives us any formation for today.
Thank you, Tarpon.
Tarpon saying 12 mil float for Zuzu, BSGM 7.74 million share float. So there you go. All right. We can see what else do we want to take a look at real quickly here. Michael asking about linking this. You cannot do this. And if you wrote to me, I never saw it. So I would say check your email there. There is no way to do this. You cannot externally link Benzinga Pro to other applications. Sorry about that. That is actually feedback that we've got that we've passed to the development team, but no functions have been released for that. We'll let you know if that changes. Okay, you got any other stocks, or do you folks have any other stocks out there that you want to take a look at? Rent, I guess, you know what? We should take a look here at Rent because that's another one that was moving. It was not on the mover scanner here today, but take a look at Rent. Yesterday, Rent the Runway shares trading higher after company reported mixed Q4 financial results and issued guidance. You can see this popped as high as 14, really kind of leaking from that 14 high, but this is well above its closing price for yesterday. There's discussion of the Benzinga chatters are watching this one. I know that this is going to be on watch here today. Interested to see if Rent actually has a larger outstanding move here. We'll be honest, though, daily chart not looking great here. You got any feeling here on Rent?
Rent hit my scanner yesterday, and I started to read about it, and I thought it was a bit of an interesting play because we've been talking about how apparel, like let's say Lululemon in particular, has started to trade down quite a bit. I mean, in Lululemon's case, that's a bit of an understatement. But I found that this company was interesting because you have this kind of subscription model where you can just kind of can rent these fashionable clothes and sell the ones that you have. Apparently, we have some of our happy hour participants that have family that uses Rent, and He says that his wife loves it. Her friends sell a lot of clothes through that. So I'm thinking that this could be a bit of an interesting anti-retail play. Taking the other side of that with this company. So now we're up today. I don't know I didn't even notice what the news was. I guess they provided earnings. Is that what it is? Yes. Yep. So it's really interesting that this hit my radar a day early. I think this may garner more. You should take a look at this more, because I think this could be a really interesting consumer play. Seeing as how, like a discretionary play, seeing as how those sectors are down this year to date. So I think this is interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, it is current price here, 10.15. Room up to the 200-day on the daily chart here, 16.84. It's nice that we're actually popping above this 100-day. I want to see how this actually trades around the open, but encouraging here, encouraging early on. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other stocks that you folks are taking a look at. Kevin, you wanted to take a look at coin. This is, of course, tied to the price of Bitcoin. See what Bitcoin is doing here this morning. Bitcoin futures hovering at right about 71,000. They were lower and higher earlier, so it looks like it's kind of jostling around. Coin, if you take a look at the daily chart here, this actually looks pretty decent, and it looks like it's kind of consolidating here. If it breaks 240, I would say that the next test is probably down here at 223, and then 280 is the upside spot that this would have to break. So daily chart here, really not looking bad. I suppose it depends on what your long-term view on Bitcoin is. I have no position here on coin. This might be one to kind of watch here, but you got anything on coin? You see anything that jumps off this chart here for you?
Aside from what you just said about the consolidation, which it absolutely is doing, it's just going to be tied to pretty heavily to how Bitcoin trades. And I think, of course, the higher Bitcoin goes, this should go higher as well. But it should be able to hold those gains that it makes a lot better than some of these miners have. So that's one thing that I've we've been talking about, and that I've noticed with coin in particular, is that it seems to hold its gains pretty well compared to the miners.
Agreed. Okay. Next here on the list was going to be RVSN. This was another recent growth. And what is this doing here today? Is this even worth? It did pop here. Okay, so Rail Vision shares trading higher after the company announced that it had received an initial purchase order amounting to approximately $1 million as a part of a contract valued up to $5 million with the U.S.-based rail and leasing services company. You can see that did pop Rail Vision up to 180, although we've really kind of bled back most of those gains. We've almost completely round-tripped this move here in the pre-market. So we'll see if this actually kind of firms up here. This would be one to watch. Definitely not in any type of hurry to buy this one out of the gate. It is not showing me enough for a potential long side move, even with the catalyst. That could change right out of the open, but as of right now, wouldn't be looking at that one. We'll wait and see. Yeah.
One real interesting thing about this is that they gave you a bit of a timeline as to when that contract is supposed to be fulfilled. They're saying that that installation of the products, that contract is for the contract in question, that's supposed to be installed during Q3 of this year. So if you want to keep this on your radar, maybe as we get approach that time, you might see some more activity in this begin to pick up. Just a little breadcrumb for you guys out there that want to trade this one. They're kind of saying when they expect this to be done.
All right, really quickly, we're about 40 seconds till the open here. Daniel, you were looking about American Airlines. Look, man, to my eye, it looks like this chart wants to roll over a little bit more. I don't feel great about travel or the airline sector at all. I've got no position on this. Would love to hear from the group. If any of you guys like the airlines at all, I don't right here personally.
It doesn't look like it's recovering right now, so I'd say it's probably going lower.
Yeah. Okay, let me flip over to my main workspace here. We'll observe the scanner for a little bit until the market opens, and we'll flip over to trade the pool to actually get some of these trades executed. So got about 10 seconds here. Good luck, folks, for another day, and happy Masters opening day for all of you that care about that. I cannot.
Oh, we have a holiday. Okay, cool.
We have a holiday. That's right. We have a Ryan-approved holiday. Okay, we're open. Let's go, folks. CADL still flagging here above its VWAP, by the way, so that's actually looking pretty decent. RLYB not looking bad either.
Okay, looks like the first move for ADIL is to try to get up to that 250 area.
ADIL, huh?
This 250 has been the one this morning that it's been trying to get above it. It did pop above it in after hours yesterday, and it was support for a time, but then it broke down. So I think 250 is a big level for ADIL.
Pulte Group looks like this is dropping here. I am seeing some calls come in for this ticker PHM.
ELYM and RLYB are kind of both doing the same thing. They popped and then came back in. They're putting in some upper shadows out of the gate.
Go over to it. Here's CADL. Looks like this moved right out of the gate here. It's continuing to push higher here on cattle. Good morning, Gil. Hey, how you doing, Gil? What do you got on deck for us here today? ELYM, that was another one we wanted to take a look at.
Oh, there we go. Now it's starting to move. It had that wick that it put in. Now it's starting to trade up a bit here. It's kind of making its way through the consolidation that it put in after hours and pre-market. Sorry, the high was 455. That's
which stock, dude? Which stock?
The one you're on.
ELYM. Okay. There we go. Here's the range that we're taking a look at here. ELYM. This nice move here out of the gate. Volume actually looking pretty decent too.
SPRC, that one fell out of the gate. This is kind of what we were expecting here, but now it's it may have found some support here from the 200 EMA on the 5-minute.
It's trying to get bought back up. It's trying to go back to that VWAP.
Yeah. So let's see if this can continue to reverse. It's going to have to eat through that supply and that level that I was telling you about earlier. I think it was like 2 or 205, something like that. It's got to get through that as well, and then we can start having a conversation about new highs.
Rent here, popping out of the open on rent. This is rent the runway, which we talked about. This might be trying to go back to the highs from yesterday. Let me just actually zoom out a little bit here. Here we go. This gives us a better picture.
Yeah, it's coming up to the $11 is the first level of resistance, and we can see that from the price action this morning. It has been trying to get back above that. It hasn't been successful. After that, it's going to have to make its way between about 1150 and 1220 to chew through the after hours consolidation there.
Halted. Rent is halted. CADL, this is trying to make a move towards 7. High print here, 697. It's backing off that area.
Okay, so cool. It was headed towards the 715 level I mentioned earlier. So that's a nice. This is exactly what we wanted to see out of the gate with this one. So if we does hit that 715 and it pulls back, then you're going to want to see that 650 level provide support.
There you go. Larry, UVXY did not gap up. Those pro share ETFs split or reverse split. So that it is actually not gapping up.
Parker's Thinkorswim mentioning MDIA, and I see this pop out of the gate here.
Cattle up at 7. It's trying for 7 here on cattle.
For MDIA, the next upside target I have for it is 475. And cattle, yeah, that's at $7. Now, if it can push up to 715, I'd be cautious of profit taking and sellers coming in and hitting it. So be careful at 715. Otherwise, this is going to push through and we're going up higher.
Yeah, after still has to deal with the $7 level here.
After 715, I have 825 as the next upside target.
You're welcome, Larry. Here we go. Oh, it was right back at 7 for a sec there, and it flipped off of it.
Cattle's flipping you off, huh?
Ah, man, it's doing that thing again. Here's the pull on cattle. So let's see if we pull back down to the VWAP. Got that VWAP at about, I can't see it, 665. Wow, we broke right through it. Nasty pullback there on CADL. Wonder if we can buy this pullback.
It's holding that 650 level.
Let's try it here. Let's see if we can bounce just a little bit. If we can't, we'll stop out of this. But let's try and buy the pulls instead of buying those breaks. Right early, it's showing us here that the breaks are going to be tough. Oh, we went right back up there. That was fast, though. I want to see if we can get through 7. Come on, bounce. Let's go. Trade up, cattle. Let's go for that 7. Let's go for that 7. Let's go for the 7 here. A nice little pop there. If this comes back through 7 or 673, I'm just not going to let it go red. But I really want to see if we can get another attempt at that 7 there. Oh, and I messed up the chart. I just it's kind of a, riskier trade here. They're going to break that. Yeah, I'm going to take this off. Ooh, there it goes. Goes lower. We'll wait for this to set up. At least we got green on the screen on the first trade there. Here it comes back in. Okay, so I was right to do that there. Got, I guess, a little bit lucky there on the timing with the pop. We'll see if this sets up again. Keep CADL on your radar. Let me go ahead and check around to some other ones there. RLYB going to be one of them that we're going to take a look at. Looks like this is at the lows. This broke through the VWAP here and at the lows.
We expected this with our RLYB with that run up that it had in pre-market. So what I would be waiting for with this one is to see if we can get support from the 65 EMA, which is at about just under 3. If that fails, then the next support for me would be the 200 EMA and the consolidation from the after hours yesterday. That is between 245.
I've got that at 227, that consolidation area.
And then that, about that.
Yeah. Great stuff there. All right. Let's check on ELYM real quick.
Yep. We're seeing some movement
that
there.
That is going to the top end of the range here. Okay, so I'm not going to buy this break. If we break above this, I don't want to buy it right away, right? We've seen this really kind of pull back. Maybe we can actually extend, back test it, and then give us an entry trigger. We'll see here. ELYM looks like this one's going.
Yeah, it really does, because the after hours high is 455. It looks like it got there either this morning or late last night, and that's the level to break now. So
that was
great.
That was earlier this morning. I have that pre-market high at 455, as you just mentioned, and I have the intraday high here at 454. So nifty little pullback here to the VWAP. Mm-hmm. Volume looking good here on ELYM.
Looks like RLYB is about to hit the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. SPRC still hasn't quite recovered, but it's hasn't made a new low yet. CADL is trading beneath that 650. It needs to recapture that before it closes. Rent is open and going higher. ADIL still trying to push through 250. Sorry for all the moving around.
All good. I'm just kind of following you around. I got nothing open right now. So it's a lot easier to do this when I'm not not sitting in something that I've got to watch.
Looks like they're really
continuing to break here.
Yeah, I was going to say, looks like there really is a effort to take out that 455 and ELYM, but there's a lot of sell orders in the way too.
CADL, pretty hard rejection up at that 7. We haven't made it back up there. This actually threw its VWAP now. Want this to strengthen up. Don't take it off though. We've seen that strengthen up multiple times throughout the course of the day. ELYM slowly making its way back towards that 454 area. ELYM.
All right.
ADIL really starting to push away from its VWAP now. A little bit of size there at 264. We'll see if that gets rolling here.
Yeah.
Jay Summers looks like you're opening a new trade here. 650 on CADL. See if we get that VWAP reclaim and a bounce. I'm sorry, 13.
No worries. I'm just was just going to mention that that ADIL. We just got to get through that consolidation from the after hours, and then this thing could get up to 3 or higher. Brent, you're welcome. What did you give the top ones? Oh, okay, great. I'm glad it's working out for you, man.
Gil from Trade the Pool here, obviously taking a look at those Bitcoin stocks. Mara here, which is actually kind of holding in. CLSK, which we've had some pretty good success trading in the past, looking like this is moving lower here. And then also IREN, which is another one that we've kind of been watching recently. This also looking like it's moving lower. No, really kind of low volume here on IREN so far. Keep your eyes on those 3 as well. Thanks, Gil. You are the man. You are the man. ASTI penny stock on the scanner. Okay. Vera on the scanner. Vera Therapeutics.
Brent had a bit of pullback, not when it couldn't get all the way through that after hours consolidation, but it's still trying to fight to break and close over 12.
Yeah, it's trying to hold that VWAP here. SPY is really pulling here. NASDAQ, all indices trying to go lower here, it looks like.
Yeah, well, they can do whatever they want. We're trading.
That's right. That's right. Don't you forget it.
Yeah, when the trading volume starts drying up, then I'll turn my attention to whatever the heck that thing is. ADIL is trying to push through that consolidation. It's succeeding for the moment.
ADIL, this is really getting going here.
Mm-hmm. And looks like just a bunch of consolidation in some of these names.
ADIL up to this 270 spot that's got size on it. ADIL.
Yeah.
Jay Rice, good morning here. Sold some more CGC puts as this short continues to pay. Jay, man, this was a great call. Happy Masters Day, Jay. Hopefully the weather doesn't delay it too long here. Great move on CGC. ADIL, they take that. You sure did. Oh my God, look at that. Strong. Took that spot out real good. Gene asking for thoughts on Tesla, TSLA. Tesla here popped on the PPI print, it looks like this morning. It's coming back in with the rest of the market. I don't really see a whole lot here yet. This just looks like to me as if it's trading with the market. We are dancing around between some of these areas. These were short-term levels that we had identified for the purpose of day trading. We're still kind of bouncing around between them. I don't have a read yet on Tesla here for today.
Rent is incredible. This thing is trying to hit 13. And then let's see, 1395 is the top I have from the after hours yesterday. So we'll see if it can take that out. It looks like it's going to at this point.
The volume looks great here. We've expanded right into the open here, looking really good. Probably should have taken this one instead of CADL. How's CADL holding up? CADL moving lower. Boy, we were right to sell that one.
Did stay focused on here yet? I'd love to, because I was talking to him just about this very stock yesterday. I want to see what he's. I
don't think so. He might be in pro. He hangs out in the pro chat quite a bit. He's a trader though. He's a trader. He cuts those distractions out. So maybe not.
Oh my gosh.
SPRC.
13.
This is actually trying to bottom here.
Rent at hit 13. Jesus. That was a good one.
How's Root doing? You just remind. Oh, Root's moving lower. Oh, Crow. Do we have a buy?
Yeah, do we have a dip buying opportunity there?
We have a dip buy opportunity in Root here. Oh my!
It looks like ADIL popped to what is that?
I want to put Root on one of my charts that I just keep up all the time. You know what? I'm going to take Win off this chart for right now, and I'm going to put Root up there just so I keep an eye. I'm going to force myself to keep an eye on this stock. See if that gives me a better feel for it. I think it's got to. Okay, BSGM moving lower here.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at that one since the open.
I hope rent is making rent for anyone in it. It very well might be. It very well might be, Martin. How's that ZOOZ going? Gil, by the way, if you're still out there, just want to reiterate how awesome it is. I don't think I've come across a stock that I can't pull up in Trade the Pool in a long time. The pool here is just so huge. I'm able to pretty much anything, small stock, big stock, whatever.
If you're trading rent, just keep an eye on 1395 as a potential short-term top.
I want to see if we get an entry on this. ELYM came back to its VWAP here.
It's a rent party. Hell yeah. All right.
ELYM, this is actually a pretty decent bounce off the off the VWAP here. This might be going back to that 455. I don't know if it's going to break it, but man, oh man. Okay. That was a good.
I think it could, sorry to interrupt you, but I think it could, if it provided that we get enough volume to do that. It's the third visit in the past 24 hours to get to have to try to get there. We just had a rejection. It came back in. Now this could be the one where it breaks out.
Gil hitting Nara. You get a register ring for that, Gil. Here we go. 454 up here. ULYM. I would say that if you did take this off the VWAP, I would trim partial here. At least book some of those gains in case we don't punch through this level.
Yeah.
Definitely have some size to work through here, but it's doable. My God, that bird just oh my God. There's a hole in the roof here that the birds make a nest in every spring, and that adult bird just brought a huge patch of stuff to make that nest in there. That was incredible. I actually didn't think he was going to get in there. I was like, oh, he's going to get rejected. Nope, dragged it right in there. ELYM, let's see, 454. We're still watching the spot here. Doing a decent job holding up here as well.
MACD looks pretty good. Just need a little bit more volume so we can push through. And then, I don't have levels for upside on this, so I probably should draw those. But yeah, I'm looking for that 455 breakout.
SPRC, this trying to make a move back to its VWAP. RLYB, this thing, we talked about this potential high print in the pre-market here. That looks like that's what's going on. RLYB breaking through the VWAP, looking like it's moving lower here. Again, just like ADIL yesterday, I don't necessarily think we need to write this off yet. I think we might actually get a bounce here about 275 if it comes back in here. And maybe this actually picks up in the second half of the day, like we saw yesterday on ADIL. So don't want to write it off yet, but RLYB been weak out of the open here. Yep. Go back to rent because I know that seems to be the stock du jour. Is that's holding above 13.
ADIL is pushing.
Sure is. Wow, ADIL.
Yep.
This was the one from yesterday. This trying to push maybe back up to those after hours high. I got that at 304 here. This could actually get wild if this goes above it. But again, though, not going to try gambling to buy the break. By the way, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy was on CNBC today. Amazon, I guess, a little bit fractionally higher here. Yeah, it's basically flat, actually. I don't even want to call that higher. Basically flat here. Bitcoin at the lows of the day, actually was the new lows of the morning here.
Looks like Brent's about to push higher, or at least trying to. It's got to get through 1335, it looks like.
CADL, is that doing something again here? Yeah, reclaim the VWAP. Maybe it is trying to go higher here, CADL.
If it cannot break 677, I'd be a little worried. Looks like ELYM is going to go lower.
Ryan, do you use FINRA short data? I use the short data in Benzinga Pro, and I believe that is. I'd have to double check that for you, Jonathan. I'll do that here today. But I use the data that is in Pro. It is the official data. So, yeah, it's got to be FINRA.
The ELYM did have a large sell order that just got completely obliterated. So it might trade back up. We'll have to wait
CADL not over, going for that 7. Watch if this breaks 7 this time. I think this probably goes.
Yeah.
Not in it this time. Don't want to buy a pre-break here. ADIL nasty pull.
Rent hit 1350 and came back in. Looks like it wants to continue to go higher.
And watch the CAD up, and that pulled off that spot there a little bit. Rent, you were watching there?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. ADIL had a pop to 293 and then knifed.
Yep. Knifed right back to the VWAP.
All right. What's next? Looks like there's a bit of a pull happening here with some of these. Rent is beneath, well, it's going above and below 13. It's trying to choose a direction. RLYB beneath the 65 EMA looks like it's going lower. Rent Yeah, rent's still. Oh wow, okay. So rent's now at 14.
CADL still struggling with this 680 area. I can't even take you got everyone just wants to look at rent here, so I can't even take it off the screen.
Yeah, I mean it's the one that's ripping today. No green no red candles in this thing yet. At least on my chart. Looks like ELYM maybe starting to falter here after not being able to break through that 455.
Still in the range that we have identified though. And actually, now, I think the bottom end of this, we want to, let me move this up. Sorry, go ahead.
Now, if this does break down and we start to see it fall out of this consolidation, then this would be something I'd be keeping on my radar for later on today to turn around and try to retake 455 again. Just because it couldn't do it this time, it could, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be able to do it later today. We've seen these exact same thing happen before where it just can't get the volume to push through the resistance levels in the morning. It sells off, curls, and comes back in the afternoon. Happens a lot. Jesus. Rent is almost at 15. I think it's about to be halted.
Jay mentioning that this might be a squeeze here. Jay saying, keep your pants on, folks. Rent, did you see the report? They lost over $7 a share. This is a low float squeeze on Rent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
1476 should get halted right here.
It is halted.
Second halt of the day on Rent. Good call.
MDIA had a pop to 460. That was actually that was a nice bull pennant that we formed here and then broke out of. 475 is the upside target I have in MDIA. ADIL, it's down but not out. Got support around 250. It still looks like it could go back up and try 315, 320.
ELYM still consolidating around its VWAP.
Yep. Didn't break down.
Nope.
So that's good.
Didn't break down or break out. SPRC trying to go for that VWAP so far.
It's ELYM for me.
Sorry.
No, you go.
CADL couldn't really make it up towards 7, came back to the VWAP here. It's just kind of hanging out here.
Yeah, it did get support last time. It went down to 650. Came back up a bit. This is the same candle, the same 5-minute candle. So if it can continue to hold that, or at least the 9 EMA, that'd be fine. But it's looking a little weak.
We have a second attempt at RLYB trying to bottom and curl here. The first one came after we broke through the VWAP. We actually did trade back up to test that VWAP, but we were rejected and took another leg lower. This leg here looks like it's trying to bottom out in this pre-market consolidation area that we talked about. This is right around bottom end of this is about 285, maybe the bottom end of this range got you at about 275. So RLYB second attempt maybe to try and bottom out here. A-Lab, Jay, you're still looking at A-Lab here. This was another Crow favorite. Pissed you tried to buy yesterday and missed it. 2 good days here. So A-Lab, this actually, I'd be curious to see if this can actually trade back above this 75 area. We're almost there here. If we can take out this consolidation area, I think this can continue curling back up. I see why you're upset about that.
Wes mentioning ADIL. It's still kind of being pushed down by its VWAP. But, it still hasn't broken down beneath 250. As long as it holds 250, in my opinion, we should still be okay.
Yeah, thanks for the assist there, Jonathan. I can't type the summary for Joseph, but I appreciate that you went out and did that.
We're all helping everybody here.
That's why I love this group. That's why we run a tight ship here. It's all about raising the tide for everybody. Sally, good morning, Sally. It's great to see you again. Looking at OOS, this actually does look like this is maybe trying to bottom here. Take a look right here, 789, 787. Let me take a look at this on my other chart here.
CADL might be getting ready to make a push for 715. It's traded up to above VWAP briefly.
So real quick here, here's the OOST chart that we're taking a look at here. This level right here, it's trying to be the support level. You can actually see that this was a previous resistance level, so this level should be pretty good here. Sally, I would agree with this. If this can hold here, you might have a swing long opportunity here. But if this breaks, though, remember, it's not too long since we came from this 5 handle. So just keep an eye on this. This is a pretty important spot right here. I'd say the next downside spot, probably closer to 670. Good spot here, though.
Watch ELYM for some volume expansion. That's what it needs in order to push through. It's trying to get above its VWAP right now.
Do we try some of this here, maybe?
I'm not going to make any recommendations.
Did you try any of it?
CADL. It's now slightly above the. I mean, this thing is just kind of sideways right now. I don't know what to make of this or when it's going to break out. It could happen in the next 10, 15 minutes. Could happen in the next 10 seconds.
Bitcoin is bouncing here.
Okay. SPRC.
ELYM right back to its VWAP here. It did not continue to push. CADL back up to the top end of the range here. Let's see at 7. Let's see if this is the time for that 7 level. CADL.
RLYE.
Backstrap, what do you think of Intel swing? We'll take a look at that here in a little bit.
For Intel, I like 3550.
Okay.
Rent. Oh, wow. Okay. It's at 15, almost $16 now.
That is that squeezer effect going here.
Now, just be careful, folks. I mean, if you're not paying yourself on the way up, you might be setting yourself up for a massive knife here.
This is the move here has been so great that there have better have been some paying yourself on the way up on this one. Here comes this thing is volatile.
Yeah.
Right now, higher we go.
Look at that, almost 17.
Look at that.
Just as soon as we were like, oh, it's starting to pull now, it's the bulls were like, no, it's not.
But this really confirms what Jay was saying. This is squeeze activity right here.
Absolutely.
Jay's absolutely right on this one.
Let's take a look at that. So it's a almost 12% short interest, 11.32 days to cover. That is short squeeze territory. Just looking to see. Okay, ADIL might be pushing. It's really got a huge amount of sell orders to get through between 275 and 280. But we get some volume to come in and take those out. I'm pretty sure 315 is on the table. CADL is pushing up higher now, looking for 715. There it is. Just tapped that upside target.
Broke through at 716 is what I have here. But man, oh man.
Now it can come back in.
There's the pull beneath it. Let's see if we come back down to VWAP. I've got VWAP at 666 for all of you superstitious people out there.
Yeah, if we don't break through it in the next matter of minutes, then it's probably going to come in a little bit and consolidate, hopefully above 650, and then we can get that breakthrough. But we did touch that upside target, so that's good. We just need to have another visit up there with volume.
See that pullback, that first pullback that I bought, I thought we might get a bounce right back up to that 7 level and take it out. Now we didn't take it out, but I'm still kind of watching this. There might be more opportunity here on CADL. This one is actually doing pretty well in terms of its pattern.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to have
Here's your pull on rent, by the way. This is the first one that we can actually call a pullback.
The candle hasn't closed for me. I got about 35 seconds left on it. So watch it completely just go to 17 and validate that. That'd be hilarious. But, well, maybe it's actually doing it. I wish I had gotten the end of this one when I was talking about it, but, CADL still holding that. It's actually more around a 675 right now, which is between the two levels that I was talking about. SPRC, not sure if it's going to be bottoming soon, but I'd be interested to see if we can stop slowing down to selling at least. RLYB, I still think that goes down to 250.
Let's take a look at that here real fast. Yeah, man, look at this. This has been just bloody.
Mm-hmm.
This has really, really struggled, RLYB.
Which means at some point it's going to get noticed and it's just going to get completely snatched up and run. There's no guarantee of that, but it's just one of the things that if you trade long enough, you see that kind of thing happen all the time.
Market moving lower here, by the way. Yeah, market taking another leg lower here.
ELYM really does want to break out here. It's got a lot of sell orders to deal with.
It's still trying. I tell you what, that VWAP entry around 425, that looks good, 13. That spot has really been good pretty much all day.
Yeah, it's been unsuccessful every time it's attempted a breakout. And at some point, the tension on this is just going to go away if traders aren't going to get what they want out of this. Yeah. You know, why trade this when rent's, absolutely ripping? Well, right now it's not. 1720 is the new high in rent. Jeez. Never mind, it is ripping. I bet maybe as soon as rent comes in handily, we'll probably see some of these other ones get attention. Like we probably could see RLYB turn around when rent comes in.
Sorry, just handling something here. Let me take a look and see if Twitter's got anything for us. No. That was actually a disappointing Twitter check. I'm sorry about that. I didn't get anything there. ELYB, I'm kind of tempted to try some of this, honestly. Just if it gets back down to that 525, maybe just take a little bit and try some here.
The 425?
Yeah, right at the VWAP here. ELY, what did I say? 325? I'm sorry.
You said 525. I was like, man, if it gets up there,
no, right here.
I'm
VWAP,
out.
425. God.
If it gets up to 525, I'm out.
And I don't necessarily want to throw an order out there because if we knife to and through the VWAP, I don't want to be filled on the way down. I do kind of want to watch this though.
Yeah, it just needs a whale to come in here and obliterate these large sellers. Yeah, just kind of come in and just take it out.
Stopped out of Pan W as that tried to move red. We'll watch Pan W for a re-entry there. See, so with that one here, just because I don't trust the market, let me actually pull that up here. Because I don't trust the market, I don't necessarily want to stay in swings that go green so early. This one making a move back to red, stopped out of it. I'll rebuy this as soon as it sets up again. Maybe if we can even get a move back to that. Let me see here.
Rent hit 1746.
Yeah, 272. I think this could come back. Pan W, this could come back to the 200-day. Anyway.
I wonder if rent hits 20. Just thinking out loud. That'd be crazy. Oh, Richard's saying Hollow's coming back, huh?
Uh-oh. Where's Lynn and Randy? They're on vacation. Where's Lynn and Randy when we need them?
Let's take a look at Hollow, just for funsies. Okay, so it had a sell-off out of the gate. A lot of consolidation between yesterday and the pre-market and after hours. So I see what you're talking about it coming back, but let's see if it can recapture $3 first.
Whoa, root taking another leg lower. Can you even believe that?
Returning to its roots.
I mean, that's got a long way to go before it does that. Rel here, Richardson Electronics, this moving to new highs here.
We might be getting the breakout in ELYM. Might. I don't know if these sellers are going to start piling in. Yeah, it's right, Kingdom. It's like you see these green moves, but it's just like having a hard time going up. It's having a hard time with VWAP. My VWAP anyway. Sure, your VWAP might probably be showing you the same thing, that it's just not able to get above and stay above it. MDIA had a big knife. CADL still holding.
Oh my God, the knife on MDIA.
Yeah.
This actually took it red. That's a red-green move. I don't like that at all.
All right. Rent had a decent pullback. We might start to see some more activity in some of these other names if people are leaving Rent.
CADL trying to hold on to its VWAP here. It actually broke beneath it. Here's your first nice big pull here in Rent. I know we got one earlier, got bought right back up. Let's see if this brings us to the VWAP at 1412.
Yeah.
This is what, again, let's just focus on it because we mentioned it earlier. Pay yourself on the way up.
Absolutely.
Pay yourself on the way up.
If you're not ringing the register, you'll be wringing your neck.
Ha, wringing your own neck. Now that's something.
RLYB, not a couple of good looking candles there. We might be getting it to turn around here. It's starting to put in the first green candle of the day on the 5-minute chart.
Yeah, it's actually doing that. So we just closed the first green candle of the day on the 3-minute chart. This actually might be moving higher here on the second one.
All right. It looks like, I hate to say that it looks like it might be doing it, but ELYM with some volume here. Hopefully we get this break of 455.
Yeah.
So I'm not holding my breath.
I'd still trim some here though, because we've seen this get rejected here a few times. Maybe not sell everything, but trim some of it and book.
What is it going to quadruple top? I don't know. But
Sava is kind of spiking here. Do we have news on Sava? I'll look that up while we watch ELYM here real quick.
Yeah, Jonathan, Rent's just illiquid. It's just absolutely ripping on.
No news on Sava.
These giant
here
spreads.
We go.
Here we
ELYM
go.
right through.
That's what I'm talking about.
We keep moving. Do we pull back off this?
Oh, I'm all out of ELYM now.
So you did take it.
I did, but I don't like people following me into trades.
Yeah, I got you.
Ooh, CADL. There's a knife for the ages. Yeah, that was probably a really good mention to take profit when you were saying it, because everything looks like it's starting to come in at the same time right now. Rent,
yeah, pull back down here to the VWAP.
Yeah, Rent, CADL, MDIA. Oh my God, MDIA.
Market is still coming in as well, by the way. On the lows here, everything coming back in.
MDIA just, produced bag holders for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Rough tape, says Robert. I would agree, Robert.
Yeah.
This is rough. We did, you know what, though? Even in a rough tape, we were able to find some things that were winners. I know it's the small, junky stuff that not everybody likes here, but sometimes when you have a dearth of good opportunities and some of the more trusted names, got to go where the action is.
Thanks, Brett. I got out of the skin of my teeth on that one. By the skin of my
Jay
teeth.
mentioned it at its bonds. Bird did it again
Sure.
with that straw. Here's
Sure,
the TLT just rolling over.
I think he's absolutely right. It's
He is, and he mentioned this earlier, and I think we probably didn't mention it. Credit where credit is due. Yep. He's a sharp guy.
Oh, as sharp as they come. All right, so RLYB, it's starting to look like it might be recovering. So if you're looking for trades, there might be something here. ELYM might not be done. I have no open trades. SPRC, just, last hope for SPRC is 170. And then I'm just, it can do whatever it wants. ADIL, we had a pop up to 308.
And it's still battling with that 3 level right now.
Mm-hmm.
ADIL. VWAP has been great on this one. That knife back to the VWAP. What a great buy.
Take a look at larger time frames to see what. Okay, so yeah, if we get this break of 315 and continue to trade up, my next upside target is 420. Wisdom, where are you at? Let's see. What are we going to do here, ADIL? What are we going to do? Rent on the return. Man, how high is this one going to go? ADIL
too. This is definitely squeeze action here. Jay, this is a really good call on this one.
Yeah, it looks like it wants to recapture 17 again.
This was the stock of the day. Kudos
Sure
to
was.
the Benzinga Pro chat, by the way. Benzinga Pro chat all over this last night when the Catalyst first came out. They were making plans for how to trade it here today in the chat. Sweet. It was sweet.
RLYB continuing to look attractive. I'm not so sure about Brent. It's going to have to.
What do you mean?
Well, the price action. It's going to have to, go higher than 1746 at some point pretty soon. Otherwise, I think we're going to start seeing it break down beneath 515. ADIL, it really wants to push. Really does. It might get it. Might get rejected at 310 as well.
Some size there at 310. Nothing it can't handle, though.
Nope, it could chew through that pretty easily. Just needs enough people willing to do so. MDIA may have found a bottom.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at the move here in Tesla. What a reversal off those highs. See if it holds on to 169 here. It's trying to bounce here, but it's not looking great. Market is continuing to move lower here. Lows that we had, looks like this is a double. Yeah, looks like we double bottomed at what, 511? 511 and a half. That was one of the low prints here in the pre-market. That was the low print post CPI yesterday. I don't know why people were excited about the PPI print this morning. Looks like reality starting to set in as we continue to move lower. 512 and moving lower.
This is which one?
The SPY.
Oh, gotcha. You had Tesla up. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I do that sometimes.
Okay.
I do that sometimes. Here's the SPY that I was looking at a different chart.
All right.
Rent eviction coming T squared. Oh,
I appreciate that, Brent. I don't think I'm a pro, but I appreciate your comment. I got to look and see what you're talking about, though. Oh, okay. Yeah, that move up to the 458 where I was leaving, and then it came down. Looks like it does want to kind of roll over, though. But if it can hold 4, then it might still have life in it.
And remember, 4 is that the bottom end of the channel that we marked off here this morning. That's that pre-market range. And I don't know what you're talking. 13 is a pro. We've been doing this for a while. 13. We talk about it all the time. Oh.
Let me just.
I know you don't want to give yourself credit. We'll give.
Let me keep myself in check. Okay. I don't need my. Look. We have enough inflation already. I don't need my ego joining the crowd.
Well, don't worry. I mean, when your head gets huge, we'll grease it down so you can get through the door frame. Not a problem at all, man.
Oh God, that sounds gross.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Vic's throwing back up here. Everything looks like it's moving lower, including Root. Boy, I tell you what, if Root's moving lower, it's like everything out. Look at this.
Turn off the computer. Root's going lower.
nothing but downside here so far. Rivian being mentioned, and this is huge move down. This is actually it's not even down a full point here. I wonder, stay focused. I think he was short this name. I wonder if he still is, or if he covered that up. Nothing but red volume candles. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of these names that we've been trading put in some support candles. So we'll see if they can start to turn around. Like for example, ELYM, it hasn't broken down. We have SPRC that is trying to turn around, but I'm not committed to that one quite yet. ADIL, not yet. Not rent. MDIA might be turning around. CADL might be turning around, or it's just consolidate and go lower. This is the point with some of these where I'm just kind of like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is the point where you wait them out. You don't try to force it here, right? You wait it out. I think that's real smart. ELYM, by the way, still holding at this VWAP.
Yeah.
So we've had 1, 2, 3. We've had 4 tests of the 455. We did break it one time, but we closed beneath it.
Yeah. So just kind of waiting for things to play out a little bit here, and the market choose a direction. Looks like Delta's having a better day than yesterday. ELYM. I like how it's just, consolidating, but I really need to see it choose a direction. We might be getting a move up through VWAP here in a bit, though. It seems like all the sell orders now are at 450, so it doesn't even want to get to 455. ADIL trying to push up here. Had a nice bounce off VWAP ADIL.
This is, I think ELYM might be trying here for another move up. I might try some of this.
Sorry, folks. It can be a little bit tiresome just watching some of these things go sideways for a bit. Look at rent, though. Rent doesn't seem like it wants to be done.
All right, filled some ELYM here, right at the VWAP. We'll see if we get a second push. Going to have a real tight stop on this, though.
Where do you have your stop at?
I haven't set it yet, but I'm thinking 418, 419, right under that 420. Okay. Lol wisdom, and also that's where there's some size that is kind of supporting. I don't want this to kind of go against me, right? I'm trying to play for a very specific bounce from a very specific level, and if it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work. We'll set this up again here. Let's see if this can push away here. 425 was going to be that VWAP ELYM. It does not have the volume that we want to see. The MACD is actually rolling over, but it looked like that the last time before it pushed up towards the top end of the range. We'll see if we get one more.
Yeah, I think one of the things you have working for you is that it's putting in higher lows. So that I think that's just one good thing about it, but the volume is really what's concerning for me.
Yeah, same.
And I think people are going to get tired of being in it if it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to set up a 2-to-1 risk to reward on this one.
I hope that the things that I'm saying get completely invalidated by a breakout and you make money.
Well, I mean, we have a 3-to-1 risk to reward trade here, so we'll see if this ends up working out. We've got it set up here. At least we're playing a setup. We'll see. We shall see. And at least now I've got this set here. I can actually flip around. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks that might be going here. CADL, this looks like this is moving lower here on CADL. Oh, and you know what we should have done? AI Rod. AI Rod. You know what we should have been on? We were watching some of these other names. We should have been on the SQQQ.
Yeah, I still have some from yesterday.
We should have been on it. I mean, right when we started to reverse, right at that open there, we should have been on this, I feel like. This would have been something we could have scaled into there.
Yeah, I got rid of some when it was at 11 yesterday. I still have some left over. Probably might get rid of it today. Just depends on what the SPY does. It had a nice. It's been selling, so I'd expect there to be some support.
NASDAQ and Dow also at the lows there, so it's not limited just to the SPY.
I mean, look at the SPY holding 512 still. It's been doing that all morning, and that's been a level it's been a level I've had for a while. So as long as it continues to do that, that's great. But we break down. I think we're heading for the 50-day SMA.
CADL looks like this is going to move lower here too.
Yeah, maybe you might find support around 550 CADL if it does break down. Well, here we go with rent, about to make new intraday highs.
Yep, there it is, new highs. Boy, man, this thing is wild. Should have bought this one.
Congratulations, everybody trading rent. RLYB potential upside, says Kingdom Lamb. Yeah,
where are we at with rent in terms of its average here? Let me see here real quick.
Well, you do that.
Stopped out, by the way, at ELYM. Rent here, oh my God, on average, 107,000 shares. This is over 15 million shares. This is rotated the float 5 times over.
Yeah, suck on the door of 18.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, with RLYB, I just want to see it move up out of this consolidation. It's nice that we're seeing this, because that makes me think that we are having a near-term bottom. But see how we kind of stair-stepped on the way up. We could stair-step on the way down. I want to see that the downside get invalidated with a recovery.
ELYM big pull down to the 4 level. This is why we have those stops set. Look at this pull.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get another setup there at the bottom end of this range, though, right around 4. We'll keep that on watch.
If it doesn't hold 4, I think 375 is the level. EDIL still trying to decide which way it wants to go. It's coming back down to VWAP though. If it breaks down beneath 275, that's it's probably going to be going down to 250. Like
Rent is the new root. Well, let's hold on. It's doing this for 1 day here. Root did it day after day after day.
Well, Root also was a high short interest, high days to cover.
Yeah. ADIL back towards its VWAP here.
Mm-hmm. Even XLE down. Yeah, I'll take a look at that, because I am in that. Is this just a
NKTR back to its VWAP here?
Is this just because that we had? I don't know why energy is down today. I mean, I imagine it's because it needs to pull back from the run it's had, but I guess I just need to looking to see why that is.
The XLE here just kind of at a support level here.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see it now. I got you. What is that about? Somewhere between about like 96.50 and 97, somewhere between there. Can't get a pinpoint on the exact level, but
yeah, but those are a range. You're right on with that range.
I don't even know why we keep taking our eyes off of rent. It just keeps making new highs.
This actually did give a potential entry as this pulled back towards the VWAP. That first big knife there, that was buyable.
Yeah. Gerald mentioning Verb.
Verb's just a penny stock though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
CGC here, this continuing to roll over. Jay, you get another register ring for that. MNDR, good morning, Becca. Oh my God. Was there news on this one? Let me check on this real fast.
Let's see. MNDR and Mobile Health. It's halted to the upside.
Halted to the upside. I don't see any fresh news on this. Looks like just kind of a volume pop into that halt to the upside.
This is an IPO.
From yesterday.
Yeah.
So yesterday's high I've got here at 869, and we halted here at 850. Looks like it's going for that, doesn't it?
Not sure about this one.
Not sure if you like it.
Not sure. About the company. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have an understanding of what this does, but
isn't this similar to TDoc?
It kind of seems
like
that way,
telehealth.
Yeah. And look at how good that one's doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they figured something else out here. It just seems similar to that. Platform designed to create doctors and for doctors and users. The company's revenue is derived mainly from the provision of telemedicine and other services, sale of medicine and medical devices. Yeah, so this company makes money the more drugs you get prescribed. So the sicker you are, the better it is for this company. I call that a red flag in my business.
All right, rent approaching 19. There, it's through now. Gosh, I'm going to be Be careful at 20. That seems like a psych number that it's at the squeeze these short squeezers will, use. But to the point,
I'm pissed I'm not trading this.
The point of MNDR, you look at Teladoc, TDOC, that only had a huge move up because of COVID. And then we just came back in, and now we're beneath the IPO price. So, all right. What are we getting here? ADIL?
EE calling rent to 25. We'll see.
Okay.
Could easily be possible given the move it's made here today. We started this day at 10. It's at 18. Be almost halfway there, just over halfway there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just stick us a little bit on the next pullback, which we might be getting here pretty soon. It's only put in one red candle, and
yeah, it's been hard to grab entry just because there really is no pullbacks. It's just been straight up on that squeeze.
Yeah,
there's nothing else going on.
So it could, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I'll if there's a good pullback, I'll get in.
ELYM might be holding that 4 area on ELYM. RLYB, that bottom was put in. That was a good call. Whoever talked about that one at that potentially bottoming here, 265. Yeah. RLYB has done that. VWAP at 304 if this move continues. So ADI, far, the spot that we're at right now has actually stopped it. It's actually stopped it a couple of times here. Looks like some size up to 86 as well.
ADIL is trying to push up to 3. Yeah, Smoke mentioning it too.
The rent is too high. Let's see here on 3. Some size there. That this looks like this should take it. Stopping right there at 3 so far.
Let's go. Give us 315. That'd be awesome. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to think about rent anymore. It's just so all over the place.
Rent has been high for a while. Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, I think Wisdom might have some competition with how high things can get.
I liked that one. Akamai, oh bummer. We talked about that one as a potential setup. That actually pulled away from the VWAP. And Akamai, we'll see if that AKAM, ticker AKAM, we'll see if that can recover and retake that 200-day. But this looking rough here. I'll tell you, the only swing that looked good was PanW, and I got stopped out of it today. Yikes! See if I'd love for that to come back to the 200-day though. That'd be great.
All right, what are we going to get here, Rent? Are we going to get a push up to 20 now?
Really quick before I'll go back to Rent here, but JANX, this had one pullback to the VWAP and went higher. It looks like it's trying to curl here. It's at least worth watching. Let me flip back to Rent here.
There we go.
MNDR is open.
Wow.
MNDR, oh my God, this popped almost $1 out of that halt. It did. 949, 950 here. MNDR. Wow, Bex. Ooh. Nice catch on that one.
Yeah, great job. Let us know how you did on that trade. I'm sure you're doing great.
Rent here, 1988. Mm-hmm. It did not break 20. It did not break 20. Now it just did.
Just hold on, Ryan. Just hold on.
It's just simmer down for 1 sec there. We're going to make you look like a moron.
No, I think
actually Rent going for 21 here now.
Yeah, who was saying 25? You might be right.
It was EE.
Nice. Nice.
This is going to get halted here, 2088, if this holds.
It looks like
this is going to get halted.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, so now that nobody can trade that, what are they going to move on to? MNDR? ADIL?
Rent, third halt of the day. Oh my God, Bex, you were swinging MNDR from yesterday? Bex, let's go. Let's go. This continuing to push here.
Okay.
Above the highs from yesterday.
we're getting some activity in ADIL. I guess everybody that was playing rent is looking at ADIL now.
You all put up the
Hey,
pot
there
signal.
he is.
You put up the pot. You put the weed leaf in the sky, and wisdom
Yeah.
just showed up.
All right, what are you going to do here, ADIL? Are you going to try to
How
do
do we
three?
do, wisdom? We do better now that you're here.
Oh man, wisdom, you should be. Oh, I wish you were here earlier. We've been having such a good time trading rent, and well, I haven't done anything with it yet, but it's been taken off. We have MDR that was Becca that was trading. Yeah, Becca.
Yeah.
Killing
Apparently,
that
Becca
there.
was saying this was a crow call from yesterday. That must have happened after the show.
Oh man, it's been. Hey, I don't care what the SPY does. It's been a great day here on live trading.
Indeed. Hey, I've said it before. Any day I'm breathing, I'm doing good. We're doing good. And we're hanging out with you folks. All 1,300 of you folks. Smash up the like. Awesome support here. Really, really appreciate you all. Hopefully, you're taking something away from either the calls or the process. We have an entire group trying to help out the group. That stuff really gets me going. I love it.
I think you might be right about ELYM, about finding support. It's trying to push back up here.
Yeah, it didn't quite get down to that 4 level. It got near it, but not quite there. Yeah, ooh, LPTX. This just Leap Therapeutics is just moving through its VWAP.
It's oh, okay. So does this have news this morning? Let's see.
Mitch throwback ticker DM. Desktop metal.
Desktop metals. What's happening with this one?
This could just pass the 200-day $1.09 here. ELYM. Let's see what happens at the VWAP. Let's see if this actually moves through the VWAP. SMCI is strong.
ADIL. We're gonna
interesting.
Get that.
So that's kind of bucking. That's kind of bucking the Q. I guess the Qs are kind of rotate or turning up here. Nvidia, same deal. ADIL, you were mentioning 13, right at that 3 mark.
It was trying to. Well, it's a little bit above it right now, but it looks like it was trying to push up to 315 at the moment ago. Now it's kind of slowed down.
Let me see if I can video this.
I've got MNDR pulling back. I mean, now with LPTX that you guys were just mentioning, 355 would be the top end of this, consolidation we have in the pre-market. We get through that, then the next level I'd be on looking to break is 375, 373. ADIL, nope.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. I'll just keep talking. ELYM. Nope.
This poor bird can't get it through there. Sorry, I'm amused. I think birds are amazing creatures. ELYM. Sorry about that. I'm getting distracted now.
Now, I just think that ADIL really needs to push through and close above 3 here, or else it's going to come back into 250. LPTX still looks like that one's slow grinding up. MACD looks pretty good too. CADL might be coming back. I'd like to see it get above 625 and close.
It's got to break out of this sideways area here, right? Is that 625? Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
RLYB, same deal here, kind of consolidating. Don't want that to break down anymore. That'd be rough.
Yeah, consolidation with all these is okay. I think we're all just kind of waiting for rent to unhalt and let that go to 25.
JanX back to its VWAP here. Sava, new highs. This actually consolidated. It looks like it's taking another leg here on Sava. I'd have 27. Yeah, 2750 is your next spot here. Ticker SAVA.
Javier asking Google to 160. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Okay, we have rent open, and that's going higher now, 2210. Yeah, Google 160 seems likely, but that's just my thought. Yeah, here we go. Rent
I'm
255
gonna be.
now.
I'm gonna be. I hope we get this 25 print that EE called earlier. I really do. I hope, because that'd be spectacular.
Mm-hmm. That'd be one of the best calls of the probably the best call of the day.
Yeah. RLYB, if it can get above this 282, watch that one. RLYB. We got a couple of things that were. How did Rail Vision do? RVSN. It just kept moving lower here. Okay.
Crow saying CNXA is a silent runner, and then Kingdom Labs also asking about MNDR.
CNXA, MNDR pulled back to the VWAP here.
Yeah, so as long as it holds VWAP, then it could just be getting ready for another move up to the 950 area that it topped out at. So I think with MNDR, you just have to kind of wait and see what it's going to do. And if you feel compelled to try it down here, that's up to you. Rent now pushing up to 24. It's got a high of 23.83. I'm sure there'll be a nice sell order from EE at 25 up there. Almost at 24.
Up. EE's changing it. 27.50 is where that measures now. Nice. Is that a change or a second target, EE? Change or a second target? You said new alert. Is that a second target? Or do you think that that's where it's going to just straight up reverse? I mean, ELYM back to its VWAP here. It looks like it got rejected right there. Yeah, it sure did. See if this can cross through its VWAP here.
I could see 27 in rent following a pullback. That could be a scenario that plays out over the next 15 30 minutes.
RLYB here, this is still holding in here. Watch for this to maybe take out that 285 and go higher here.
Yeah, I need to see this one get back up to VWAP pretty soon here. Otherwise, I think it's going lower.
Ooh, Veru came from out of the penny stock land back to $1.30 here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
DJT took another leg lower, but is holding here about $32, 32 and a half. CADL still holding this area. Let's check in on RLYB. This just doesn't have the volume, but the spot looks good here for maybe a move back to VWAP.
Marcus Sniper saying rent to 1692. No, I'm sure he's just saying.
Where did rent top here? 24. God, that was almost 25.
Yeah.
Second target, by the way. I appreciate that, EE. We'll see.
Yeah, Veru's still pushing higher.
LPTX, nice push away here from the VWAP. You people don't discuss gold. What do you mean by you people? Jeez. And we do discuss gold sometimes. Gold, not the big mover here today.
Yeah, we're trading these volumes.
We're trading Mo here. Yeah. Rent, here comes your knife. Let's see if we get. Now, here's the thing. We might have some downside halts here on rent.
LPTX, that just had a big candle.
Yep.
And then it just stopped. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see this get back up here through that consolidation at 350. It's coming back in, but the next level to get through is at 373, 375 level. Rent.
RLYB, this might be going here.
Yeah, rent coming back in. ADIL still trying to do something with $3. SPRC sideways. ELYM starting to get rejected here. It has support still at about $4.
It's now remember, we knifed through that VWAP. Now that we are below it, we really need to make a strong move through it.
MNDR went lower. Might find some support down here, but it would need to reverse right about this level and start trading up again. ADIL.
Here is ADIL. That's still flirting with 3 here.
Yeah. Still flirting. Needs to make a move.
Datadog, nice little move here today against a red tech market here. Datadog curling up towards, look at a nice little impulse move out of the gate. Let's see if it actually reclaims that and goes higher here. Ticker DDOG.
It's got a nice formation. It looks like it could break 130.40. Let me take a look at all the magnificent stocks and see what they're doing. This Tesla is really the big mover down today. Meta, Netflix, essentially flat, give or take a small fraction of a percentage. Only NVIDIA is up over 1%. So what does the SPY look like as a result of that? Does not look, it looks like we're still just, like you said yesterday, Ryan. What?
Let me confirm this. I think you might be right there. This is not market related. Looks like, did OJ Simpson pass away? Yeah, on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. OJ Simpson, dead at the age of 76. Yep. Interesting. Sorry, just saw that come across the wire here. Not really sure how to feel about that, but there's some news. I don't think there's any trade for that, so I won't focus on that. Oh my God, Sava did take that next leg higher here on Sava.
Datadog looks like it's still trying to push up to that 130 and 40 cent level.
Sally BPIG, oh my God.
Well, that's how that goes, Gerald.
Hey, look, like I said, I'm with Webcoin. Don't have a comment on it. Just bringing you the news.
Yeah, we could make a whole bunch. We're not.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to make jokes either. I don't think that's appropriate.
SPRC, that one is starting to look like it's moving out of that consolidation.
Yep, that's a good one.
Still waiting for RLYB to make a move.
MNDR here. This came back into the VWAP. Maybe another move higher here off that VWAP. I like this joke here though, Smoke Tuna. Landlord pushing rent higher here. We'll see.
Yeah, all it's there is just the same names that we're just cycling through. MNDR is trying. I don't know about MNDR. If it can't get back above that VWAP, then I think it's headed towards closer to 715.
Here we go with rent starting to gear. Watch that volume. Volume's going to tell the story here on rent. RLYB still struggling. BlackRock is buying up rent. That's not news. I'm just reading a comment here.
Oof. I don't think ADIL is going to get that 3 or that close above 3 like we were talking about. Headed back down to VWAP. Yeah, some of these names are starting to roll over. But not Rent. Rent is not one of those names.
No, not yet anyway.
There will come a time.
There will come a time.
Nice call on Ver. That's still making new highs, intraday highs.
Yep. That was strong right out of the gate. That next leg up was strong too. Some size here at 140.
SCFU had a good comment. I mean, wisdom, if you shake your head back and forth enough, you can start to get that rainbow effect. So it can all be rainbows. And then just open your window and you'll get sunshine. So
now, what on earth are you guys talking about? I shake your head back and forth to get rainbows. I mean, is that like a mushroom joke or something?
Remember when life was all rainbows and sunshine? Now it's all tickers and red and green waves. I'm just like, well, just shake your head back and forth and you'll see plenty of colors.
Like, are you guys trading MindMed or what? What's going on here?
Or just take, some of MindMed's product and you can get the same effect.
VMS, by the way, this big move, nice little staircase move here today off that initial dip. team showing up on the scanner. Atlassian. They do Jira and some of those computer programs here. That looks like it might be trying to return to its VWAP. Rent 2230. Where are we going on rent here?
What was the thing about team about Atlassian?
The news on it. Let me pull it up here. I just noticed it was on the scanner. Pulled it up and trade the pool. Let me try and get you some news here on ticker team. Atlassian shares trading higher after Barclays upgraded the stock from equal weight to overweight and raised the price target 235 to 275. So here, real quick, let me go back over to here. So you had strength this morning on an analyst upgrade and a price target readjustment. Looks like a little bit. It looks like it kind of traded back down with the market, although it is trying to curl. 275, the new price target here.
So GitLab it seems like it's kind of trading in sympathy.
Also, by the way, with team here, we'll go to GitLab next year. On team, we have a gap that starts here at about 232. So we break above that, you're in a gap up till, see where that gap fills, 252, almost a 20-point gap. GTLB, right? That's the GitLab ticker that you were looking at here. Indeed, this does look like this is moving on sympathy.
Yeah, now it's got a bit of a consolidation going on here. So just interested to see if it's going to move out of that consolidation or not. And that consolidation that we're getting today, it's probably because we had a consolidation a couple of days ago that's created some supply that it needs to eat through. So it's about $1 that it needs to chew through in order to get above it.
Look at ELYM. So far, it's held 4. Still struggling with that VWAP, though. That's what we got to watch here.
Look at Datadog. I think that thing's ready to make new highs. It's a great call on Datadog.
Yep. Yep. Those analyst upgrades. LPTX. That looks like that's trying to go higher here too. LPTX.
Yep. I think it wants 375. SPRC. We just mentioned that one. I'm still waiting for that to kind of curl, or it's curling right now. I'm waiting for it to break above at 65 EMA. MDIA still down there. CADL still needs to get back to its VWAP, in my opinion.
Don't see anything else really on the Twitter streets.
No. It looks like this looks like we're we have a good shot with Datadog here on a breakout.
Looks like we got a shot here with LPTX. I like Smoke Tuna's call here. This looks like this is trying to go higher. Pre-market high LPTX 379. That's another 30 cents from where we're at.
And there it goes. Right after you finished talking, it just popped.
Yep. And it pop almost to that level. Almost there. Look at that.
Well, let's see
what pull back here.
The high is 373, which was the high in after hours. So right to there. So if it pulls back,
I have 378 on mine. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, it's right there. It's the same area. The point still stands. It's the same area.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Smoke Tuna. Nice job, Smoke Tuna. SMCI here, Jay mentioned this one. Still going. I think they have a decent chance of pre-announcing higher or a split. Interesting. Now, the one other thing, let's actually flip back over to the chart tool that I have here real quick. Take a look at here at SMCI. So here's one of the things that we're looking at with SMCI, clearly trying to bounce here off this 50-day moving average. Right? And this came off of a support level. I wonder if you're right there, Jay. I wonder if they will pre-announce or maybe even split. Try to draw in some more attention. On some more holders.
Morning,
ELYM
Walter.
back up to the VWAP here. We'll see if that actually takes it out. VWAP at 425. It's been there all day.
Look, Sally mentioning Sava.
Yeah,
this thing is just absolutely squeezing right now. It's got a almost 30%. She mentioned this. It's almost 30% float shorted. 13.4 days to cover. This is a good spot here. It's absolutely squeezing right now.
And this was a battleground. I don't know if you remember when this stock was right around $100. There was a lot of back and forth about how this was going to be a huge Alzheimer's treatment. is going to have all this really great stuff. Didn't really ever materialize. I still think that there are people on the battleground, if you will, trading this thing back and forth here. Saba, this is a nice leg out of consolidation here. Really good point about the high short interest on there.
Yeah, who was we had a gentleman that was on this, just he was doing the research on this
on the happy hour.
Yeah,
that was Hector, whose background is stats.
Yeah, and he was he was all over this thing, just back and forth with this one. I didn't know that this still had life in it. I thought it didn't. The drug didn't work or something.
Lion Atlas, great day every day. Indeed, it is. Like I said, if you're breathing, it's a good day. Also, the Masters.
All right.
I know we're going to have Zunaid on at some point here today. I want to ask him what the weather's like down there in Atlanta. Hopefully he can give us a weather update.
Yeah, to your point about ELYM, it doesn't look like it's finished, and it might try to push above VWAP here. ADIL.
Oh, nice. Yeah, David Green, friend of the show. We definitely like David Green. Nice to see him getting out there. You used to watch David Green too, didn't you, 13?
Yeah, I even tried his green room.
There you go.
ADIL.
And now look at you. You got your own room, baby. That's right.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, are we getting a knife and rent, folks? Are we really? Yep, we're rolling back over to that VWAP on rent. Now, here's the one thing we talked about this when we were getting criticized for not looking at gold earlier. The thing about some of these Mo stocks is that, it'll have that like this stock momentum from 10 to 23 or whatever it was, or maybe even 24. When we're on the downside of that move, that momentum can pick up, right? So if you're going to play bounces off some of these pullbacks, just have a plan in case the momentum doesn't shift back to your favor. It can absolutely have a huge momentum move in the other direction. So keep that in mind.
Now, to the point about, why aren't we trading gold? It doesn't have the volatility or the movement that we have. But if you are talking about a swing, if you look at GLD, that would have been a great idea. But I don't think we can, if you guys want, we can discuss swings or talk about things that we use swing. We have before, but we really I think most of the time we're just liking trading what's moving. In the moment.
Yeah, we're looking for what we can capture in the moment. Look, I've said it a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it. Swing trading is my favorite type of trading. If you guys have setups that you want to take a look at, let's do that. But if you throw out a ticker with no context at all, how are we supposed to know what you're trying to do? And then furthermore, if we don't cover it because we didn't correctly read your mind, again, how are we supposed to know? So yeah, if you want to take a look at a swing setup, I'm all about that. And in fact, I've got swing setups that I've actually taken and profited from other traders. So I'm all about doing that. We can absolutely do that. And just, a lot of you guys kind of do that now. A lot of you guys kind of ask about seeing stocks. What does it look like on the chart? We take a look at some of the longer time frame charts. We can keep doing that. There's no rule against that.
Right. And I think that a better way we can approach this is if instead of asking us, why aren't we doing something, ask if we can do something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. Yeah.
We'll do it.
We'd be happy to do that. 13 and 9, we talk all the time. We do it on camera, but off camera, we're always thinking about, how can we make things better? Another kind of ethos here. We're always trying to get better. The Masters coverage is the worst thing I've ever seen. That is not what I wanted to hear this morning. That is really not what I wanted to hear. I haven't been able to look at any of it yet, but man, oh man, that is a bummer.
I see what you're talking about, Voodoo. Yesterday too, gold was pretty volatile, but I'd have to look at how fast do these moves happen? Are they very liquid? It's that kind of thing. I wouldn't want to trade something this volatile if it doesn't have that liquidity, because I might not be able to get my fills, or I might be get the wrong fill or get out the wrong time. I would need a little bit more liquidity. I just can't tell when I look at these charts. I'd have to see a lower time frame maybe.
New to options, guys. Love this handle here. Can you guys talk about your stop loss strategy a bit? So first of all, I can, and I'll try and be brief here. First of all, it really depends on what type of trade, right? Like if I have an investment, my stop isn't a price level. Instead, it's does the thesis change at that company. And I'll use Apple for an example. If Apple PR'd tomorrow and said, you know what, we're moving away from the telephone, I would sell my Apple investment, because that is one of the huge drivers of that investment thesis that has worked over all these years. So it really depends. If it's an investment, there's likely something fundamental or something going on at the company that would be my stop if that changed. Now, for some of these day trades, I will often pick just a technical level. Especially if my intention is to close it throughout the course of the day. You might see I've gone as low as like a 2-cent stop, being like, look, I'm really confident about this entry right here. If we break this to the downside, I'm going to be out and wait for it to set up. If I'm day trading, I know I can rebuy it if my setup fails. So I'm not scared to have a really tight stop. The only thing that when really tight stops get me is when I don't have the greatest entry, or if I'm buying something in no man's land, or if there's a range and maybe VWAP is in the middle of that range, and then I buy it VWAP and it falls out of bed. So I try to pick stops. That make sense depending on the trade. For day trade, that can, it can be real tight or it can be a little bit looser. And then as far as like profit strategy using the stop, I like to set up any short-term trade for 3-to-1. That's what I tried doing on ELYM. So I was looking basically at the range that was in. I was saying if this trades up to the top end of the range again, we're going to take our profit. Our stop is 1/3 of that effectively. So if it goes the other direction, not really a big deal. And then I can be 30% correct on those and still be okay. Let me know if that's helpful for you. RLYB getting a mention here? Go ahead, 13s. I'm sorry.
I'll take a look at that wisdom. For me, when it comes to stops, it's going to be it really trade dependent, like what the stock's doing at the time, how volatile it is, how spready it is. There'll be order cancels order or bracket orders that I'll set to have the stop loss and take profit if it's something that I'm trading like out of a halt, for example, just to keep the risk as tight as possible. On slower moving stocks, there'll be times when I look at what the technicals are showing me, and if I don't like a particular level, I'll put a stop loss beneath that just in case there's a shakeout. It's like that. You have to kind of see what the stock's doing at the time, and that's one of the ways I determine where my stop loss is going to be. Now, I raise my stop loss when my trade starts to take off and run. I'll raise my stop loss.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I left that out of there. There's in a lot of cases when the trade starts working, it is prudent, frankly, to change your stop, right? You want to protect. If the stock starts moving in the direction of your thesis, you want to protect your trade by raising your stop when appropriate. Some of that can be, levels based, like 13 was talking about, maybe percentage profit based, anything like that, to try and help you ensure that you're setting yourself up for success. Remember, trying to pick the exact bottom and the exact top, that is a fool's game. Sometimes you might get lucky, but really what you're trying to do is capture that movement in the middle. And if you can consistently do that, you can make profits, use your risk management to size up into some of these moves and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I raise my stops frequently when I see something starting to run, because we have so much evidence of these smaller cap stocks, these low float stocks, where they have a really great run and then they absolutely knife. I don't like getting caught in those kind of things. So when it's starting to run, I'm raising my stops to limit my downside risk.
There you go. And see, what I like about that is all process based in your answer there. That's my favorite part. Look at this, Zunaid.
What up?
What up, Zunaid? I got it. What's the weather like in Atlanta?
It was pretty disgusting and ugly, but now it's looking like me with a fresh haircut. It's beautiful.
Hey, all right. So let's let the golf begin.
Yes, I believe the rounds have already started. I'm flying out to Florida on Monday, which means it's going to be chaotic at the airport for me. Woo!
Okay.
Yeah, should be fun.
You're no stranger to that, though. You're a pro with the flight. So
I am.
You got this down.
I'm excited
like
to. I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to be Amex down and pretend like I'm a millionaire. It should be fun.
Let us know how your airport experience goes. I'm kind of interested to see how traffic is and how flights are going.
Yeah, thankfully it's an afternoon flight. So hopefully the madness in the morning is done. I flew out last year in the morning and it was lines all the way at baggage claim because but anyway, should be fun. Should be exciting. I told the events folks, because you have an event in Florida for those of you that don't know, for cannabis. And I told the event folks, I was like, if I get an offer for $1,000 voucher to fly out later that night, I'm taking it. But
you guys will have to fill in for me because I'm taking that voucher, Zunaid. I think I'd have done the same thing. Zunaid, what do you got coming on?
Man, we've got, this is cool, right? Because typically I get to talk to executives and I've also started to talk to investors that are happy about what's going on with the stock. Now I get a chance to talk to David, who, sent a letter to Paramount, and we'll talk about exactly what the letter was, why he's not happy with the way things are going. And, it'll be a really interesting conversation. I love getting into the real world situations like this. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun one.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get to it. Live trading done here for today. We will be back tomorrow. 13, great job here today. Zunaid, sounds like you have got a great slate coming on here. Break a leg, my man.
All right, appreciate it, 13, Ryan. Appreciate y'all in the chat for hanging out. I'm telling you, this is cool for me to kind of see how things are going behind the scenes. And let me go ahead and bring on my man, David. David, how's it going?
Hey, nice to see you.
You as well. And so I want to provide a little bit of background into it. And then you can provide a little bit more color. You sent a letter to Paramount Global Board of Directors, right? I've got the letter. I've got it all inked up here on Monday. And you were pretty much saying, hey, the board is considering and likely pursuing actions that are only in the interest of one shareholder, Sherry Redstone and National Amusement. And you're ignoring the fact that massively it'll dilute the interests of vast majority of owners of Paramount who own the non-voting stock. You yourself own over 350,000 shares. What are they doing that you're not happy with in this instance here? And we'll dive in more into it.
So basically, Paramount has super voting stock and non-voting stock. Sherry Redstone owns the super voting stock. She's the largest shareholder of that, but only has about a 10% economic interest in the company. Right. Sherry Redstone's company, National Amusement, has run into significant financial difficulties. She leveraged the Paramount stock and basically is paying a lot more for that stock right now in terms of interest rates. The stock has gone down a lot. So she's trying to save herself. In doing that, she's pushing Paramount to take actions which are good for Sherry Redstone, save her from running out of money, and are really at significant cost to the remaining 90% of the shareholders. So the deal that the board is contemplating, and they entered a 30-day exclusive period with Skydance, is basically something that would allow them to pay off Sherry Redstone at a really, really healthy price for the Paramount stock and for National Amusement, which is sort of a sick company because it's in theater chains.
Looks like I lost your audio. Give me a second here. I just had it perfectly and I just lost it.
Something that they don't want. And then they're also requiring Paramount to issue more shares. So it's basically a disaster for existing shareholders, great for Sherry Redstone. And our letter was basically saying to the board, you got to take all the shareholders into account. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense because you all invested and are bought into what the future of Paramount is. And you've got, since Monday, you've got 3 other groups that have stepped up and sent similar messages. I've got Blackwood, Aspen, Sky Trust, and also Ariel against, what the board is pursuing. And you're urging, I don't know if you're included in this to urge them, but it looks like they're urging Ariel is to pursue the Apollo offer. So you're saying there's a better offer out there than the one that the board is currently, in your opinion, likely to pursue even after you've sent these messages?
It seems like they've entered these exclusive talks with Skydance. Skydance's deal really results in Paramount buying Skydance, which doesn't help anybody or truly doesn't help the shareholders. In the Apollo deal, they seem to have sent a letter saying that they're prepared to buy the entire Paramount business for $26 billion, including the debt. And if you run the numbers on that, basically what that does is it means Paramount shareholders probably get $18 to $19 per share. The stock's at 10.5, and the super voting shareholders in our running up get like $23, $24 a share. So they're getting a premium for that control, but they're not getting 95% of the economics.
Now you've also got
that's something that's good. Sorry.
No, please don't apologize. I want to get your insights. It looks like some directors are also planning on having a bit of a change there. How do you see this kind of playing out, right? You've sent your message out there. It looks like other people have joined you, especially one who owns over 11 million shares. So you've got some support. You're not the only lone wolf out there. How do you kind of see this playing out?
So before the deal is done, shareholders can really weigh in and influence the thought process and the roadmap. That was our intention of sending a letter Monday. Happily, others have stepped up. Ariel is a really smart investor group. They're generally passive investors. They go along with management. So them stepping up and making these comments today is real significant. Our hope is that others will follow suit. Before a deal is done, the board can say, hey, the shareholders are putting us on notice. We really do have to take this into account and move in a different direction. If the deal is consummated, generally, it's very, very difficult to turn something like that around. And if they do, it will be at a significant cost. Usually they have breakup fees. Skydance would have to get paid off. So the best time for the board to act in shareholder interest is now, not after the fact. And it seems like that's gaining a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, look, when I was in a relationship, we had a breakup fee of what happens when you break the lease. I know Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, I believe there was a fee of $1 billion. I believe it was, if he went ahead and backed out. So I'm familiar with that aspect here of things as well. When does it, I know you mentioned the 30 days. When does that 30 days end? Because I want to keep an eye on this story and I want to have you back. So when does that decision need to be made? When's the clock tick until?
The clock is ticking now, and I think it goes probably about another 3 weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But it's pretty dynamic. The four directors announcing that they were going to be leaving the board yesterday is significant. Ariel stepping up today, significant. So you want to keep close track of it. Hopefully there will be a change in direction prior to that. Right. But we will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be really interesting now, especially when someone who's typically on the sidelines and lets management do their thing because they're, they know best. You can kind of have a little bit of weight, especially when you own more than 11 million shares. Any other topics on this or anything else that you wanted to kind of talk about? Because this is interesting to me, right? This is not something that we typically see here on this show to kind of talk to someone like that. But what are some other things you want to talk about before we hop out of here?
Sure. The last thing would be Paramount is actually doing a pretty good job of turning their business around. Bob Bakish is the CEO. 2 to 3 years ago, he outlined a plan of how he was going to fix the business, how he was going to get into streaming, how he was going to cut costs. He really has been getting that done. So this is probably the most inopportune time to be taking this action. Probably 6 or 9 months from now, when you relook at the political landscape, something might be more interesting to do. If the company's successful, which they think they are in turning the business around, 6 months from now, the price of it that it would garner on a takeover probably goes up a lot. And we do think that something that's getting lost in the mix is Bob Bakish is doing a very good job. He's a really good CEO. He is shareholder oriented. So, we would urge the board not to overlook that. We don't need new management at Paramount right now. He's getting the job done.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this all plays out. You've got a couple of comments in the chat about how the manipulation techniques isn't exactly what you'd want from someone like Sherry. Of course, it's interesting to get your insights, and we look to seeing how this plays out. David, thank you so much for your time. Sure. And any other notes you have, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to have you on the show and get your side of things.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Nice to speak with you. Have a good day.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. You as well. And that was David Katz. It's interesting. It really is an interesting story, especially when you have 90% of shareholders that are not exactly in agreement of the way that things are going. You want to make sure that all shareholders, right, including you and I, the common man and woman that are invested shares, to be properly taken a look after and taken care of as well. So definitely a story that I'll be following. But we appreciate you in the chat for hanging out with us. We appreciate David for coming on, and we'll keep you posted as this story unfolds.